Good morning and welcome to your Farm and Home Show. My name is Joanna Coles, and this morning we're visiting with Kristin Hildabrand. She's the Warren County Extension Agent for Horticulture. Good morning, Kristin.
Good morning, Joanna.
Now, Kristin, we love trees, having them in our landscape around our home, but sometimes we need to choose the right tree because it's a long-term investment.
Yes, so we always say in extension, you need to pick the right plant for the right site. So definitely, again, walk around your property, kind of see some things that you might not see on it every day. Maybe you want some privacy in a certain area, maybe away from the neighbors, or maybe there may be a loud roadway, interstate, something that you need a little bit more, noise reduction, and so trees can help with that too. Or it may be something that you want visibly appealing to you, where you can look outside the window or the back porch area where it's really desirable, and you want something that kind of gives you some four seasons of interest. So really just kind of walk along and kind of take note of where southwest seems to be the place where we want to plant a lot of shade trees. So if you know that direction where that's located, then you can go ahead and plant for shade trees. So if you kind of have some of those things in mind, it helps you be able to determine what kind of tree for that space as far as what fits your function. Now, a couple of the other things for selecting the right tree, and we talked a little bit about it yesterday, was about the size. So most trees fit into three different categories. They go into large, medium, or small. So it can range a little bit depending on what tree that you're looking at. There may be a little bit of overlap. So mostly small trees can be anywhere like 15 to 30 feet. If you're talking about medium, it's like 30 to about 45 feet. And then usually the real large are like 50 plus feet up in the air. So that's really good to kind of, take note of the potential size of that tree. And two, it's going to take a little while for it to get there.
I think that's one of the things. We have these seedling giveaways and people are excited about that, but it takes a long time for that
Right.
to get to mature size. So if you're looking for something maybe to happen a little quicker, you might need to go to a nursery and buy an older tree
Right.
that fits your needs.
Right. And something else, too, with going to the nursery, some plants are going to cost more than others. Like you said, most of the little whips or the smaller tree seedlings that you get are fairly small, so you kind of have to baby them along. But if you go to a nursery, there's container grown type plants, which is most common, and then there's even balled and burlapped, which is a little bit more expense, but they've got more of the root ball attached to it, so there's a little bit more care that's involved with that too. So definitely think about the mature size and where you need to place that in regard to your property. Most of the time, your smaller trees are going to be spaced more in the front of the home, small to medium, and then the larger ones are going to go towards the back. So think about, in the front, that's what most people see of your property. They see the front view. And in the back, that's more of your recreational space where you want some privacy for maybe some backyard burgers, and maybe you want to play soccer with the kids, or maybe with the dog, or maybe you want a pool area. A lot of that is where you want more privacy. So think about the uses of that space and try to think about the size related to that. Now, trees are very different in the fact that they have different shapes. So some of them may have more spreading, some of them have more pyramidal type shapes, some of them may be more weeping where it kind of draws your eye down, and then some of them may be oval. So depending on kind of what you're looking for, there may be a way that you want to place it according to the actual shape of that tree. And there's different ways of doing that, so kind of explore that too. And then there's also different textures involved. We can have things like more fine textured trees like honey locust, and then we can have other coarse textured type trees that fit, kind of complement your landscape too. But, there's a lot of things to consider with trees. And one of the things that we wanted to promote on Farm and Home is this HO 94. So this is the publication for trees with minimal insect and disease problems for our Kentucky landscape. And it's really good the way that we list the scientific name and the common name. And it's also, if you're interested in native plants to Kentucky, which I think there's been a little push for that in the recent years, you can kind of see what's listed for native. So if you want to stop in at the extension office and pick this up, I think it would help a lot of people be able to see a little bit more about what does good for our Kentucky landscape and maybe make that better selection for their landscape.
All right, Kristin, well, I appreciate the information. If you have questions, make sure to contact your local extension office.